Marvel Comics lied on the front cover here. They charged me $4 to lie to me, and it's gonna cost them $4 down the road. What this cover suggests is that Mary Jane, Watson, MJ Dub, her, Peter, are gonna meet each other. They're gonna have some sort of disagreement. What this image right here that was drawn by John Romita Jr. from it's the main cover, not the variant cover, not a celebration cover where they put all of his villains there and you go, yeah, but he's only fighting one villain. I get that. I get what if someone's doing the uh, Black History Month variant and it's him and it's actually who's a Black Spider-Man character? Miles, but Miles isn't in it. I understand that when any sort of holiday cover, this is the main A cover that they sold. It's the cover. You know what happened in the last week's comic book? The last issue of Amazing Spider-Man, it closed with little something something called Paul and Mary Jane's Kids. And that little spider you see at the bottom, sorry, that little spider you see at the bottom there, it's the end of the story. You think, because, comics, when a story ends somewhere, it will be continued in issue number 2, the following issue, and you'll get some sort of answers. Sometimes they don't do that, but if they don't do that, they wouldn't put this as the cover of that comic book. Unless Mary Jane has shrinking invisibility powers, unless Mary Jane is there in spirit, or some comic book fictionally way to explain it, I was lied to when I purchased this comic book. That's not okay. You may be desensitized to this. It may happen common. And then you could say that there's this other comic here happens all the time. It's wrong all the time. I don't sit. I'm sitting right now, technically. But if I stood, you'd see that I'm not wearing any pants. Yeah, I played too much. But I'm not going to sit and take it, is what I was trying to get out. But I had to be stupid. Very stupid. I forgot my train of thought. I should probably review the comic book, but let's just set that in. This comic book cost us money. They're charging us now. Here's the Marvel previews for coming up in August. And then there's look at issue number 10. We're gonna see Spider-Man, Peter Parker, and Gwen Stacy. You know what I would pay to see? Spider-Man reacting to Gwen Stacy returning. You know what I don't believe will happen in this comic book? Spider-Man reacting to Gwen Stacy returning. The credibility is shot. If this doesn't happen, there's no reason to believe why this would happen that they're trying to sell me on. How do they not see this? Nick Lowe, come on, Nick Lowe. Nicholas? That was very low of you. I need to stop. That was very bad of a pun. But let's be real, guys. Let's be honest with each other. Who really thinks that was going to happen? I never thought that would have happened, even if this book didn't happen, even if this comic book lie that we just read in Amazing Spider-Man issue number 2 of year 2022, even if that didn't, even if there was no lie about Mary Jane appearing and them having some sort of conversation, discussion, even then I wouldn't say, huh? Gwen? What? She's back? Holy. I feel like Gwen Stacy's death is one that will... Maybe no one from this regime of Marvel will undo that death because it hasn't been done yet. So I feel like whoever's on top, Tom Brevoort, the same people who are saying Peter and MJ can't be together and happy and all that, that's the same married. That's probably the same force responsible for Gwen Stacy staying off the books. If they were going to do it, they'd have done it with Nick Spencer when he was doing his story with Kindred, which was what a disappointment. Kindred didn't end up being an original villain. It was just Norman Osborn's twin, cloned, advanced aged Gwen Stacy. What was it? Who cares? It wasn't an original villain. Let's review this actual comic book. I had a lot of good stuff in here. I like the sense of humor that Zeb Wells had when especially that moment where Peter's asked to meet at like 8 and he comes at 8:05, which is, hey, that's really quick for you. And he meets up with freaking Norman Osborn of all people. How? What's happening? It's because of that 6-month break. What happened in the 6-month break? The Hellfire Gala is gonna feature Mary Jane. Maybe the Hellfire Gala happens in that 6-month break, and we'll get that explanation. I dislike that there was a 6-month long break in comic books, which in real life is really quickly. I mean, a 6, you know what I'm trying to, you guys know what I mean. But a 6-month break in comic book wasn't for me. But if they actually make it feel like Peter Parker right now, the comic book events that are happening right here are like a couple of 6 months ahead of what every other comic book is doing currently, that makes it a little bit better and a little bit more okay. It would actually make it perfect, not just a little bit more okay. Then it would make sense. But I don't trust Marvel Comics to like not contain Peter Parker or Spider-Man in other comic books, in other crossovers, because that's what he does. Especially the big events. He's probably going to be a part of that Judgment Day thing that they're doing, because I saw the Judgment Day logo on that preview. The 805 thing was funny. Now, he has a relationship with Norman Osborn, which is fine. You can link up with villains. He's the way he was speaking to Tombstone, Peter was speaking to Tombstone was pretty good. He probably should have asked for money though. Like, hey, I'm doing this for you. Give me some money. You're not above talking to villains anymore, are you, Peter? You're going through some rough times. Let's go ahead and ask for a little bit of money. At the end of the comic, when he's getting in that fight with Tombstone, and it looks like Tombstone wanted to trap him in the enclosing, sirs, place. It was, whoa, that's badass. You're sacrificing yourself, Tombstone, just so you can squish the spider. Of course, his death is not going to be honored. There will be more comic books, but from what it looks like, man, this should be it for Spider-Man. That's it. And no matter how much spider sense was tingling, which it will tingle and not tingle at times. When Kareem was over there, oh, shoot him. He didn't shoot him. Spider-Man's tingle wasn't going off. Very good. His spider sense was not sensing. Side note, the stickers are back. So we can peel this. We can redeem it at marvel.com/redeem, and you'll have the digital version of this comic book for your own personal use. I like that about Marvel Comics. It doesn't cost anything. Well, it probably costs a little something, but nothing crazy. No extra charge on us. And that's good to have something digitally. It's just a bonus in every sense of that word, and it's appreciated. The old way, from about a month ago during this comic book, I made a note of it. And for those of you who didn't watch that video, it was just this page. There was no sticker. It was just email us at marvel.com. So some intern is probably like, oh no, we can't do this anymore. We quit, or something like that. The great resignation. Everyone's quitting their jobs, their useless jobs, not the ones that matter. And like, I'm not gonna talk on something that I don't know about. So Spider-Man gets squished, and that's that. She's off. She woke up in the morning dressed up like a bunny. She's like, okay, nothing to see here. To be continued. I would think that issue number 3 moves forward from exactly this position, and we go on to what happened next, because logic with comic books. I could be proven wrong. Next thing is these minor complaints. This page about real heroes and Nick Lowe. I stopped reading at about here, down here, where I stopped reading. Isn't there like a paper shortage? Isn't like the Black Panther getting delayed because of that? And Thunderbolts is getting delayed, and all this. We could do without that. Amazing Spider-Man, you know how many issues that they do? The most out of every other series. So those 2 pages not in this comic book would have made a dent. Just mad at Marvel today. They did lie. 100% of them. It was a complete lie. I'm not okay. I'm not justifying it. I don't like that there are going to be other comic book fans who are going to say, nah, Chillmonger, you need to chill. So much for Chillmonger. I think it's wrong of them to do that. Totally wrong, so much that I started the review with this. I'm ending the review with this. It's going to be in my title of this review also. That's terrible news. What it will cost them is me. Spider-Man wasn't on my pull list. Spider-Man is let me just see what's happening. Pick it up off the shelves. There's always going to be a Spider-Man issue next week. Like, that's Spider-Man. He's that popular. It's not like a Riri Williams book. I'm still waiting on issue 13, but it's not like an Ironheart issue where they're scarce. They're not, the shops don't order too many because it's just a low-selling character for multiple reasons. Some of which unjustified. Some of which justified. I buy Spider-Man off the shelves. That's all. If you like this review, thumbs it up. If you dislike this review, your dislike is not going to be seen on YouTube. I would wish it were. I would love for it to be seen, for everyone to see, and everyone's voice to be shared, and everyone's opinion to be known. I don't hide from that. I'm not shy from that. I would love to know it too, except I don't do the work and actually go to my YouTube Studio tab, see how many dislikes and likes. It doesn't. It's never occurred to me. I wish I did. I'm not worried about the mental health aspect of seeing all the dislikes. What'll I do? Not really. I prefer knowing what you guys feel. So leave a comment if you want to talk more about the $4 that they charged us and will it cost you. Is there anyone else on my side who's gonna not read the Spider-Man coming up just because of what they did? To me, man, 2 strikes. I can't believe after 2 issues they got me. I was open-minded to the Mary Jane and Paul relationship, these 2 kids. I wasn't open-minded, but I was dismissive of it. I wasn't triggered or angered by it. I was just like, there's Marvel doing Marvel," kinda was my reaction to it. And now they're doing something I get like 2 for 2, 2 comic books in a row where I'm not, like, gleeful about this where the direction of the story is heading. I kinda know that kindred and the disappointment of the Nick Spencer not closing not closing the marriage between these 2 or the remarriage of them, and I've seen that Spider-Man is in a rut. It's not gonna progress anywhere. 6 months can pass, he still won't age. I've already seen that from this run after 2 issues. I'll wait for other people because I do watch all other YouTubers. I type in Spider-Man review and I check out what's happening in the comic breakdown. I was gonna say the comic breakdown world. Check out all those channels, including Comic Breakdown. And if someone is gleeful about this, unlike me, if they are, I might get into it again. But I am done with Spider-Man. I will check back with Amazing Spider-Man when the next cover gets me because that Patrick Gleason cover with the web head was my favorite all-time cover. I got the black and then I got the red and blue versions. I wish I had the foresight to order a virgin cover or something like that. Get in touch with the people on eBay before the prices skyrocketed. I wish I got multiple. I didn't. But that webhead cover by Patrick Gleason, you know the one, is awesome. If you want to educate yourself on Ironheart Riri Williams, like the video I was talking about, like the character I was talking about, here's this video talking about the origins. It's literally her origins in every aspect of that word origin. Want to know the history of this character? They're filming the Ironheart series. Check out this video. Ironheart Riri Williams.